Good morning, students. In this lecture, we are going to start with the new topic, that is journal proper. So, friends, what is journal proper? Journal proper is also a type of subsidiary book which is kept to record the transaction which cannot be recorded in any of the subsidiary book like purchase book, sales book, purchase return book, sales return book, cash book, petty cash book, or bills receivable book, bills payable book. So those transactions which cannot be recorded in any of the subsidiary book are recorded in journal proper. So the meaning of journal proper is the transactions which cannot be recorded in any of the maintained subsidiary book are recorded in journal proper. Okay, this is the specimen of journal proper, friends. It is the same as journal. There will be 5 columns. The first column for date, second for particulars, third for LF, and fourth and fifth for amount of debit and credit respectively. So here journal proper is same as journal. The format is same, the way of writing is same. We will be writing journal entry. First we will be writing the account which is debited, then we will write the account which is credited, then after we will be writing narration of that. Okay, so it is like journal only, there is no change in the specimen. Now let us see which could be the transactions which are recorded in journal proper. That is what classification of transactions recorded in journal proper. Generally following transactions are recorded in journal proper. Number 1 is opening entry, transaction not included in any other subsidiary book, transactions of inter-account transfer, closing entries, adjustment entries, and rectification entries. Let us see one by one the meaning of all. The opening entries. When a person starts his business, he brings personal asset into the business which is recorded in journal proper. Except case whatever he brings is recorded in journal proper. That means what? Opening entry is an entry which is passed at the beginning of the year, or you can say at the beginning of the first year when that owner introduced capital to the business. So we very well know owner can bring something like cash, goods or asset. So if he is bringing cash, we will be recording in cash book. But if he is bringing goods or any other asset then cash, then it will be recorded in journal proper. So except case whatever he brings is recorded in journal proper. Okay, not only at the beginning of the year, whenever, maybe at the middle of the year, during the year, anytime he is bringing anything then cash as a capital to the business, it will be recorded in journal proper. Next is transactions not included in other subsidiary book. Friends, those transactions which cannot be included in any other subsidiary book are included in journal proper, as we have discussed about at the time of meaning. These transactions can be divided in 3 categories. Which are 3 categories? Number 1, the transaction of credit purchase or credit sale of an asset. We have seen that credit purchase or credit sale of goods is recorded in purchase book and sales book. But if it is a credit purchase of asset, then it will be going to what? Journal proper. It will be recorded in journal proper because we do not have any subsidiary book for the same. Second, transactions for which subsidiary book are not kept. Friends, here it is like many times what happens that when the number of particular transaction is very less, a separate subsidiary book is not kept for them. Say for example, in my business, if there is no policy of return of goods, or very rarely I am returning goods to someone, or I am accepting goods as a sales return from my customer, in that case I won't be making sales return book and purchase return book. And in that case, if there is any return of goods by us or from customers to us, it will be recorded in journal proper. That means if I am not maintaining purchase return book and sales return book, and there is a purchase return or sales return, then we will be recorded in journal proper. So journal proper also record those transactions for which no subsidiary book is kept. Say for example, my transaction of bills are very less. I am not maintaining separate bills receivable and bills payable book. Now transaction take place. There is a transaction of bills receivable or there is a transaction of bills payable. There is no subsidiary book for same. We are not maintaining it. Then where to write this transaction? This transaction will be recorded in journal proper. So transaction for which subsidiary books are not kept are recorded in journal proper. It is not compulsory to maintain all subsidiary book. So those books which are not maintained, transaction of those books will be recorded in journal proper. Next one, special transaction not recorded in other subsidiary book. Some special transaction we have studied at the time of learning journal. Say for example, goods given in charity, goods given as free sample, goods taken for personal use, dishonor of a bill, bad debts, endorsement of bill, receivable, loss of goods due to fire, accident or theft, depreciation. There are many transactions which cannot be recorded in any other subsidiary book. They are recorded in journal proper. Okay friends, next is the third one, transactions of inter-account transfer. Sometimes due to some reason the amount is to be transferred from one account to the other account, either partially or fully. Such transfer is recorded in journal proper. Right? Sometimes what happens, friend? Say for example, there is two person, Mr. A and Mr. B. Mr. A is our debtor from whom we have to receive 2000 rupees, and Mr. B is our creditor to whom we have to pay rupees 2000. Now there is a settlement among three that we have agreed on that A will not be paying me and I will not be paying to B. Means A will be paying to B on our behalf. Okay, once again I tell you, from A we have to receive the money, to B we have to pay the money. Now it is agreed that A will be paying to B. This is called inter-account transfer. That means the amount which is receivable from A and the amount which is payable to B will not be paid by us, which will not be received from A, will not be paid to B, A will be paying to B. This is called inter-account transfer. So this kind of transactions are also recorded, but they are recorded in journal proper. Okay, right? The same way, at the end of the year, when we close the account, sometime one account is closed and transferred to another account. The example of this is capital and drawing. We very well know the capital and drawings are the account of owner, right? So what happens? One owner, one person, and there are two accounts, capital account and drawing account, and both are opposite in nature. Capital, it is always credited, drawing, it is always debited. So what happens? At the end of the year, drawings account of owner is closed and transferred to the capital account. Okay, so this is also called inter-account transfer, and for this, whatever entry is passed, that entry is passed in journal proper. Okay friends, next one, closing entry. Friends, closing entries are passed at the end of the year when we finalize our account. That is when we close our accounts to drive true and fair profit and financial position of business. So what happens? At the end of the accounting year, accounts of goods, expenses and incomes are closed and transferred to trading account or profit and loss account. Which accounts are closed and transferred? Account of goods, that is purchase account, sales account, purchase return account, sales return account, and all expenses and incomes account, right? These accounts are closed and transferred to the either trading account or profit and loss account, and whatever entry is passed to close such accounts is recorded in journal proper, and such entry is known as closing entry. Okay friends. Next is adjustment entry. Adjustment entry is what? At the end of every accounting year, entries are to be passed for certain adjustments so that the true performance and true financial position of business can be known. For example, closing stock. Friends, we are recording purchase, we are recording sales, we are recording purchase return, and we are recording sales return. But when we need to find our true and fair profit and financial position, we need to consider closing stock also. So to record closing stock, we need to pass an entry which is known as adjustment entry. Same way, unpaid expenses, income due but not received, that is also known as accrued income. Pre-received income or prepaid expenses. These four things. Friends, during the year we record all expenses and all incomes, but we do not record outstanding expenses or outstanding income or prepaid expenses or pre-received incomes. So at the end of the year, when we finalize our account, to find true profit, we need to consider those four things: prepaid expense or outstanding expense, and pre-receive income, and accrued income. Accrued income, that is what? Income due but not received. So a detailed explanation of each adjustment entry is given in chapter number 5 of part 2, which is chapter final account, which is the name of chapter is financial statement. Financial statement, that is also known as final account. So for that, whatever entry is passed, it is known as adjustment entry, and such entry is passed in journal proper. Next, rectification entries. What is rectification entries? Sometimes at the time of recording or doing the posting of the transaction, what happens? We commit some mistake, right? So if any mistake is committed and it is detected, now we need to rectify this mistake. So whenever the mistake is found, we need to do the rectification of that. And sometimes to rectify the error, we need to pass journal entry. And if we are passing journal entry, that entry will be passed in journal proper. Okay. Entries passed to rectify the error committed at the time of recording economic transactions as known as rectification of error. Many transactions take place in business during the year and are recorded in books of account. There are chances of error being committed while making such records. For certain type of error, journal entries are to be passed, and such entries for rectification of error are recorded in journal proper. So this is all about the transactions which are to be recorded in journal proper. From next video, we will be doing practical sums of our exercise. Thank you.